Good morning to all you dear students there. We are going to start with cooperative society today. Topics to be done today: definition of cooperative society, features of cooperative society, merits, demerits and types of cooperative society. Now we have already done the definition and features, but still we will be doing it again, okay? So what is a cooperative society? When we say cooperation, it means simply working together or helping each other, isn't it? So what is a cooperative society? A cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons who join together with the motive of welfare of the members. So it is a association where people are willingly, voluntarily joining, and they have the motive of welfare of the members. So they are cooperating with the members. Now, next is cooperative society should be registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. It can start with 10 adult persons and the capital is raised through the members. The society acquires a distinct legal identity after its registration. Now children, when we say cooperative society, it is a must that it should be registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. And if you want to start a cooperative, minimum 10 adult persons should willingly come up and join hands and contribute their own capital in order to start the cooperative society. And once the cooperative is registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912, it is having a different legal identity. Just like a person, it is having its own name. It can own a property, it can sell a property, okay? It can file a case against others, or others can file a case against it, okay? So it is a distinct member of the society with its registration, okay? So let us go to the next. So these are the examples of cooperative society in India, children. You must be hearing about dairy farmers, then Rabobank, okay, then Indian Farmers Fertilizers Corporation, that is IFFCO. Then Amul, last class also I told you, it is one of the cooperative societies where people have joined together and they have started making things out of milk. Then Mother Dairy, okay, so these are all the common cooperatives in India, okay. So there are many cooperatives in India which is running today. These are just a few, okay. So next is features of cooperative society. Voluntary membership. There is no compulsion to join the cooperative, and there is no one will resist if you want to leave the cooperative, okay. So there is no compulsion to join or exit. You can join the cooperative with your will, and you can leave the cooperative with your own will. There is no compulsion at all from the cooperatives, okay. However children, when you are leaving the cooperative, before leaving you need to give a notice to the cooperative that you are going to leave. But membership is open to all. There is no bar of religion, caste, gender, etc. in a cooperative society. So it is a voluntary organization or voluntary membership in a cooperative society. Legal status, I just told you now, it should be registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912, which gives it a legal identity, and therefore the cooperative society can hold property in its name, it can sign a contract, and it can file a case, that is sue and be sued by others, that is file a case or others can file a case on it, okay. So that is what is legal status. Limited liability. Members are liable to the extent of amount of capital contributed by them. So one of the benefits also we have in the cooperative along with these features is that the members, when there is any loss to the cooperative, the members are not liable to give it from their own personal property. They can give it only to, they are limited, the liability is only limited to the amount that they have contributed in the cooperatives. Okay, so every person, as I told you, has to contribute a certain amount in the cooperative. So that much amount is only at risk when there is a big loss. So limited liability of members. Control. Power to take decision lies with the elected managing committee. So who will take the decisions of the cooperative? Because there will be number of members and therefore there is election. Okay, just like we have democratic elections in our country, like that only there is election in the cooperative society as well. There is right to vote. So with that right, they choose the members amongst themselves who become managing committee, and they are the ones who will be taking the important decisions of the cooperatives. Next is service motive. As I told you, that the major purpose of the cooperative society is mutual help and welfare of the members. So these are the major features of the cooperative society. So how many features we are having? We are having 5 features. Okay. Next is merits of cooperative society. Now you can see this written merits in the orange color. Okay, merits of cooperative societies. Number 1, equality in voting status. Just now I told you that every person has the right to vote. So one man, one vote, irrespective of amount of capital contributed. So some people may be contributing more capital to the cooperatives, but they are having only one vote. Okay, so every person, just like democracy, okay, so is having one voting right. Okay, so irrespective of the capital contributed by members. Next is limited liability. Just now one of the major merits I told you, that the members are liable only to the extent of capital contributed by them in case there is loss in the cooperative society. So they need not give everything, their property in case of a loss. Only to the amount of the capital they have contributed in the cooperatives, that much only is their liability. Stable existence. Now the cooperative society, since it is an individual unit or legal status of its own, it is not affected by the death, okay, or bankruptcy, insanity of the members. Okay, so even if the members come and go, okay, the cooperative society is stable. It is not affected by bankruptcy of the members. Bankruptcy means, children, when a member is having no money at all in his bank. Okay, so that does not affect the cooperative society. So it continues. That is why we say it is one of the merits of the cooperative society. It has a stable existence. Okay, so it is unaffected by any change in the membership. Membership keeps on changing. Okay, people may come and keep on going. Membership keeps on changing, but cooperatives keep stable. Okay, economy in operation. Now, honorary service of the members, elimination of middlemen, risk of bad debts is low. Now, when we say economy, children, we are talking about money. Okay, so when the other sectors in the economy, okay, if they want to get the work done, then they have to pay, isn't it? But in a cooperative society, members do honorary service for the society. So with the result, they are not going to take any money from the society. Okay, so therefore it becomes economical for the society. There is no middleman there. So again, it is economical, since the major purpose of the cooperative society itself is to eliminate the middlemen or remove the middleman. Okay, then risk of bad debts is low. Now the members are only taking the loans, okay, from the that is society. So they are going to pay it back to the society, and there is less risk of bad debts here. Therefore, it is more economical because service also is given without taking any money. Next is support from the government. The cooperative society has immense support from the government. Thus, government takes low taxes from these societies. They also give subsidies to the societies, to these societies, and also low rate of interest is charged on the loans that is taken by the society. Okay, so there is lot of support from the government. Okay, next, limitations of cooperative society. Now, as I told you children, the first limitation that we have is limited resources. Now, I told you the resources is coming from the capital contributed by the members. So, this gives limited resources. They do not have big resources from the society. They have to contribute from amongst the members only. Therefore, limited resources. Inefficiency in management. There is less resource in the cooperative society. Therefore, they are unable to pay to the expert managers. So, they are doing all the work on their own, and they are not having expert managers there. Therefore, management of the cooperative society is usually inefficient. Lack of secrecy. Open discussion with the members. Any kind of secrets cannot be kept in the cooperative society because it is the obligation as per Societies Act 7 to disclose all the secrets. Okay, so therefore, not only that there is open discussion with the members, there is also an obligation as per Society Act to disclose all the major secrets about the operation of the cooperative society. So this is therefore there cannot be any secrets in the cooperative society. They cannot do anything secretly. Okay, next is government control. Since the government is offering so much of support in the form of low in taxes, subsidies and low interest rates on loans, therefore the government has a lot of control on these societies. Okay, so any kind of regulations relating to audit of accounting, submission of accounts, etc., there's a lot of interference in the functioning of cooperative organizations exercised by the cooperative departments. Also, this creates a lot of interference by the government. Okay, so in return of privileges offered by the government, the society is answerable to the government, and the government pokes its nose or it interferes quite a lot in the cooperative society. Okay, so it always comes for auditing of the annual report and all that thing. Okay, so difference of opinion. Next is, when we talk about the cooperative society, there are so many members in the cooperative society, so there is difference of opinion usually. So this creates internal quarrel, and this creates that is mismanagement of the cooperative society. Okay, so because people are all interested in the personal interest only, so they are trying to, that is, create contrary views, with the result difficulties to take decisions. Okay, so this is it children. I want you to go through the merits and limitations in your book as well. Okay, and then it will be more clear. Okay, so let us now start with the types of cooperative society. Now there are 6 types of cooperative society that we will be doing. The first one, consumers cooperative societies. Second, producers cooperative society. Third, marketing cooperative society. Farmers cooperative society. Credit cooperative societies. Cooperative housing societies. So these are the few cooperatives that we will be talking about. Now, consumers cooperative society. The members comprise of consumers. desirous of obtaining quality products at reasonable prices. Sometimes children, the consumers, they find that it is easy to get quality products at reasonable prices, and with the elimination of middlemen, okay, people who carry it from the villages and give it to you, okay, or people who are the middlemen, okay, who are between the producers and the consumers. So with the direct elimination of these, removal of these middlemen, what is happening is that the products can be availed at reasonable prices. If the consumers directly purchase it from the producers, so the products will be available at reasonable prices. So this is kind of consumers cooperative society. So consumers who are desirous of getting quality products at reasonable prices come together, and goods are directly purchased from the warehouse or wholesalers, okay, and sold to the members, directly purchased from the people who are selling it in bulk, okay, wholesalers, okay. Then profits distributed on the basis of capital contributed. So if at all there is a profit, so it is distributed amongst the members on the basis of capital contributed by the members, okay. So this is consumers cooperative. Producers cooperative society, these societies are set up to protect the interest of small producers. When we are talking about the small producers, children, they are having less capital, and they have intense competition with the big producers, okay, because big industrialists can produce the same kind of quality products, okay, in less price. But when we talk about the small producers, it is very difficult for them to produce products at less price, because they are getting the raw materials, equipments, etc. on retail basis. But when we are talking about the big industrialists, they are getting the products on a wholesale basis. Wholesale basis, when they get the products, it will be reasonable cost or less cost. So therefore what happens is, small producers, they join together, and what they do is they collectively purchase the raw materials, equipments and other inputs. When they collectively purchase these equipments, it is cheaper for them, because this is bulk purchase. So the society supplies raw material, equipments and other inputs to the members, and also buys their output for sale. Not only this, the society contributes to the that is production, but also to the sale of the products. They buy the products, and then again from the society it is sold to the consumers. The society aims to fight against big industrialists, okay. Next is marketing cooperative society. The members consist of producers who wish to obtain reasonable price for their products. It pulls out the output of individual members and performs the task of transportation, warehousing, packaging, etc. So this kind of a cooperative is mainly involved in, that is, advertising of the products, okay. So selling the products, okay. So once the products are made, so it has to be marketed, that is, the consumers need to know about these products. So what is this cooperative society doing? It is helping the producers in transportation, warehousing and packaging to sell the output at the best possible price. So profits are distributed according to each member's contribution to the pool of output. So this is for advertising or selling the products. This is marketing cooperative society, okay. Next is farmers cooperative society. The aim is to gain benefited by large scale farming and increase productivity. So when the farmers are individually producing their products, it becomes difficult for them to get fertilizers, machines, modern techniques, etc. So farmers join together and they take these steps. They purchase the fertilizers, the seeds, okay, the machines and other modern equipments for use in cultivation of the crops. This helps not only in improving the yield and returns of the farmers, but also solves the problem associated with farming on fragmented land holdings. So in economics earlier you must be hearing that one of the major problems of the that is farmers is fragmented small pieces of land. So here the farmers join their lands together and they do cultivation with the modern techniques and equipments on their land, and with this fertility of the land increases and therefore there is more of productivity. Okay. Next is credit cooperative society. Now credit cooperative, as the name suggests, it is established for people who want easy credit, that is credit on less, that is interest. Okay, so these are established for providing easy credit on reasonable terms to the members. These give loans to the members at low rate of interest. So this is what is credit cooperative society. Next is cooperative housing society. This is the last one. Cooperative housing societies are established to help people with limited income to construct houses at reasonable cost. So people who are unable to construct houses, okay, so these societies, the members come together and they that is take big pieces of land, okay, with their own contribution of capital, and they start construction for everyone. They can pay in installments, okay. They construct flats or give plots to the members, okay. So this is what is cooperative housing society. The members of these society consist of people who are desirous of getting residence or accommodations at lower cost. Okay. So again, elimination of middlemen in this case. Okay. So this is it, children. So these are the types of cooperative society. Hope you will go through the lesson and see what is a cooperative society at once. Okay. You should know the features, you should know the merits, demerits and types of cooperative society. Along with this, if there are case studies based on this, you must do it. Okay. So thank you to all of you. Have a nice day.